I want to take you guys back to the year of 2009, one of the greatest years of my life. Back in the day, there were only 3 things that I genuinely cared about: family, keeping my grades up, and Pokémon Platinum. And by the end of that year, I only cared about 2 of them. This right here is one of my favorite games of all time. You guys all know this. I've talked about this game extensively in the past, and it's honestly one of the only anchor points I have left to my childhood, a much simpler time in my life. However, there's a certain element to this game that hasn't been successfully brought back to this ass-ketchup looking ass series in far too many years. And that element is, drumroll please, the Wi-Fi events. You guys remember these? They were specific add-ons Nintendo would distribute at various Wi-Fi locations across the world that would add on to the Sinnoh region in various ways. For example, this tiny little island in the top left corner of the map, or this long-ass stretch of absolutely nothing. It was obvious these landmarks weren't the focus of these events, because the real focus of them were on the secret and elusive new legendary Pokemon you could get your hands on. Naturally, my goofy-ass self needed to have these bad boys in my possession. But there was a problem, right? You see, we didn't exactly have internet at my MTV crib at the time. So the only other option I had was to drag my parents out of bed way too fucking early in the morning, to go to McDonald's, hook up to their free Wi-Fi in the parking lot, and get my hands on a secret key that way because, damn it, I wanted my own portable toaster, man. What kid wouldn't want one? Boom, toasted. But if you thought getting these events were as simple as going to one of these Wi-Fi hotspots and downloading a sumbitch, honey, you would be terribly mistaken. There were 2 prerequisites that needed to be accomplished in order to be given the privilege to make this shindig happen. First, you needed to input a super secret code at the Jubilife City TV station to this goofy fellow over here on the 3rd floor. Everyone happy? Wi-Fi connection, never forget it. And once you do this, you will be given the option to obtain a mystery gift on the title screen. Which, I mean, awesome, that's nice. But the second task you needed to accomplish? The second task was to complete the Sinnoh Pokédex. Strap in, fellas, because this is about to get naughty. As a kid, I didn't fight every single trainer I saw. What young grinder has the time to talk to every fisherman that comes in his path? Not this one, baby. Avatar's coming on in 5 minutes, and I am not missing that. A decision that would cost me dearly in the long run. Because when I went to go nab me a Darkrai with the member's card in hand, I couldn't get in. Oh, shit. Okay, so I'm pretty much a laid-back guy most of the time, but when this happened to me, dude, I was freaking pissed. I stood in the McDonald's parking lot for the shittier half of a minute, waiting for the dumbass DS to do its thing, and this is what I get for my valiant efforts? No. It was obvious that I needed something more, something vile and sinister that could make my dreams a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, enter the action replay. If you still recognize this thing, then holy goodness, welcome to the naughty list. Owning this device was like being the quarterback of the basketball team, shooting a hole-in-one over the goalie's head. I think I said that right. Basically, if you had this thing, you were the top dog. Simple as that. But with great power comes great responsibility. My Uncle Ben taught me that. You had the power, all right, but it was your responsibility to input these codes in correctly. Oh, you emulator pussies have it so easy. Highlight, copy, paste, boom. You've got the entire code entered flawlessly in a matter of seconds. You wanna know what I had to do? You really wanna know? Motherfucker, I went in number by number, line by line, and inputted these codes in single-handedly. Look at this shit, are you fucking? And if you made a mistake, God forbid you typed in one wrong number, you would have to go back, line by line, find your mistake, fix it, and pray to Arceus that you got it right this time. Was it worth it, I hear you asking me? Go to hell, I reply. But I did it. I didn't let that stop me. I inputted the codes incorrectly, got my member's card, and walked straight through that door. What's going on? Why isn't this working? Not only did I spend 2 grueling hours inputting this code in like the hacking prodigy I was, but I even got it the legitimate way. Twice! I mean, come on, man, what's happening? The answer I did not know at the time was because I didn't have my Sinnoh Pokédex completed yet. The second prerequisite I mentioned earlier. One Pokemon was missing. Just one Pokemon stood in between me and my portable toaster. Now you may be asking, who's that Pokemon? If you are at all familiar with my channel, then you'll know that I don't particularly care for this specific creature right here. And this is the reason why. Because of this Feebas, I could not reap the riches of my hard work and determination. And because I didn't have a way to find this guy, again, no internet for you, young fella, I was left to scour the deepest and darkest depths of the Sinnoh region by myself in desperate hopes that I may someday come across this elusive creature. Word of mouth from friends were my only source of information. And fortunately, one of them knew just where to find this deep sea specimen. With my newfound knowledge, I trudged through the caves, super rod in hand and max repels in the other. And when I finally found Feebas's resting place, I hopped on in the water and went hunting. Spoiler alert, I didn't find shit. I cannot tell you how long it took me before I decided to call it quits. Those who have taken on the challenge and lived to tell the tale, only they know the frustration and agony that comes along with doing something like this. Defeated physically and mentally, I decided to take a walk throughout the region to relax, and let the familiar sounds of Sinnoh heal my wounded soul. But no, I didn't want that. I was angry, I was pissed. My heart was filled with hatred, and I needed to let that out now. Thirsty for blood, I decided to take out my pain on one of the local fishermen and end the lives of his... Ladies and gentlemen, it was at this moment where everything fell into place. I had done it. Both tasks were complete. And it was finally time for me to claim my prize. So, what was the point of all this video? What lessons did we learn here? Well, talk to every trainer in sight, that's for damn sure. But, in all seriousness, these events played a huge part of my life as a kid. The drives we'd take to these Wi-Fi hotspots with my parents were filled with so much excitement and blissful happiness. Finally inputting the action replay codes correctly after hours of this was incredibly rewarding and satisfying. And hunting for Feebas was actually not... what the fuck am I talking about? To hell with this thing! Even though reliving the trauma of some of these events will most likely take off years of my life, I hope it was entertaining. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta watch my DVD box set of Avatar. Thank you all so much for your time, and as always, keep on keeping on.